Hey, how you doing, big sexy? I don't know why I'm starting like this, but I figured, hey, you might like being called big sexy. I don't know. For the one girl out there, hey, how you doing? Wait, you guys, you think guys out there, no, get out of here. Get out of here. It's for the one woman that, or girl that happens to watch, the one college girl that loves Destiny that happens to watch me, or I don't know. Let's be honest, it's probably all dudes. Actually, I've not checked my background. Actually, okay, so funny enough, as I thought, 94%, but there's actually some females. We actually have some females that watch the video. The 5% out there, that means there's at least five and a half women out there that watch the video. Shout out to the 5.5 women out there. You're awesome. We're talking about Destiny, scholars. That's right. We're talking about Destiny. We're watching another video. It's another therapeutic cathartic run by it's Tizzle. I don't know who they are, but I saw this pop up. It has 47K viewers, 61K subscribers, so definitely bigger than me. Bungie has lost the community's trust, and it is just nice to see other people's viewpoints on Destiny. And it's usually cathartic. Now, I haven't watched this, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a debate. Maybe I'm getting gaslit. I'm going to look like a fool, but we're going to jump into it, and we're going to see what it's all about.
What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this
Tizzle,
video, I'm going to rant for a bit.
Oh,
I
yeah,
made
rant.
a video back just before the dawning saying that Destiny is in the worst state I had ever seen. And
it still is.
I didn't mean that from a player engagement or community sentiment perspective.
Oh, no, it's definitely community sentiment.
I meant it purely from a this game doesn't work properly perspective.
No. It's both. The player population, even right now, it's at a higher than it's been all year long, besides the launch of Final Shape. And even the highs is pathetic compared to what Destiny used to have. Like, it is high, but it's a low high, which is not good for a live service game.
And a week after that video, the Dawning dropped with a litany of performance issues.
Yep.
So many things were broken with the Dawning, which is quite shocking, to be honest, because it's a completely recycled and reused event that hasn't changed in like 5 years.
Yep.
So for it to be so broken is quite baffling. We had also had a ton of issues with the new Dungeon Vespers host, which saw hunters not able to use Tether for numerous months. That is.
Oh, by the way, it is still broken. Vesper host is still broken, where you could still get soft locked in the boss encounter. It is still broken. It's been how many months it's been? It's been 6 or something months. No, it's not been 6 months. I know that the monolithic memento for Final Shape has been broken since it's been released. A memento.
It's just wild to me. And then their so-called fix for this was to reduce the number of servitors, which has had damning effects on the Rainix Unified encounter. You see, the boss health pool is balanced around there being 10 servitors, so when they dropped it to 6 but didn't adjust the health pool,
oh
that
no,
makes that boss much harder. What I originally praised about that boss was its unique design, that it relied on a damage strategy that we've never really seen before in Destiny. Basically, every boss is a single target. Sure, some have very short damage windows like Atrax, and others have super long damage windows like the Corrupted Puppeteer, but basically every boss in the game is a single target. So Rainix was a breath of fresh air as it brought value to area of effect damage strategies, relying on ignitions, consecration, glacial quake, blade barrage, and wave frame.
It was unique.
Launchers for your damage meta options was really nice. But then this haphazard fix has only served to make this once cool and unique encounter an absolute chore. Reducing the number of bosses almost in half has made.
I've yet to do this flawless yet, mostly because I just haven't had the desire. Especially with all the bugs that's been going on in Vespers, I've been waiting for them to finally fix, because I don't want to get to the final boss and there be a soft lock or some kind of bullcrap. Like, I have just avoided doing flawless runs of this dungeon. I might go for Sundered Doctrine, because so far, like, there isn't like immediately game breaking outside of the bug damage from the second encounter, but like, I'm not touching this flawless at all.
Made those area of effect damage strategies way less effective, while still meaning single target meta options don't work either. So now you just have a boss encounter that is not balanced properly. And that boss design segues perfectly into my next topic, which is the Zoetic Lockset. Truly one of the most unique boss encounters we've ever gotten. What is so cool about it is...
I mean, it is unique in the sense that you get multiple targets, and it's pretty cool with like them attacking you. but let's not overemphasize it. It's still Shriekers. It's still a Shrieker boss.
The player has full control over how to manage the encounter. You can do
that is really cool.
Damage phases or 1 or 2 super long damage phases. It allows for such a variety of damage options to work. But this boss is also the motivation for me making this video. You see, since launching, crits do not work on this boss with a big eye for a crit. Bungie has acknowledged this themselves.
Part of me wants to, so I know what he's talking about. Part of me wants to say that this is intentional. Like, you think about it. Queensbreaker bow, like there's all these new things. Like this boss, with how they geared it, you could, if it wasn't bugged and you did full crit damage, you could easily 2-phase this boss. I think even on contest mode, you could probably 2-easy if it had actual crit damage. I think it was intentional. I think they realized that it was going to be too easy to kill, which is funny. You know what? Actually, I take that back. I think this is intentional. And the reason why I say this is because the final boss is an easy 2-phase. Like, the final boss is a joke. So maybe this was unintentional, but it wouldn't surprise me if people found out it was intentional. But maybe that's giving Bungie too much credit.
Saying when damaging Shrieker bosses, players receive critical damage feedback, but damage is actually regular base damage. And this is where I have a huge problem. For a long fucking time now, things have been releasing broken and not working as intended.
Yep,
Kinetic
absolutely.
Impacts, the seasonal artifact mod from last season, is a great example.
It didn't work for the entire season almost.
Was up. You could identify it. How the hell can you identify you aren't getting crit damage when the game is telling you you're getting crit damage? We had heard about this bug, so my team and I tested Whisper of the Worm, and our wipe screen damage was way off from our damage totals that we added up. But I'm a YouTuber who records on OBS, and I can do a recording and then watch it back and add up the numbers. How many average players are doing this? Way less than 1%. That's for damn sure. So what the fuck are average players supposed to do? Destiny 2 is a complicated enough game as it is, but then when you think something in your build should work because the game tells you it works that way, and then it doesn't, it's just truly hopeless. I started my channel because I loved testing things in this.
I do think for like contest mode, I feel like it is pretty shitty. And here's why. I know a lot of people are like going to be elitist, but I think, sure, it's like beating Elden Ring, but with like a glass cannon build. Like, sure, you can go around and one-shot things and look like a total badass. That's the way you choose to play. You make the game harder for yourself. But it's the problem is, and they patched a lot of the issues. There were things that were broken that shouldn't have been done, and it was patched and fixed, and people bitched about saying, well, now if you beat it, it's not really that hard. Like, shut up. When you buy a game or a product, it should function the way it's intended to function. Just because you did things in a harder way, like it's saying if you don't do low mans, you're not playing the game right, or you're not playing you're not challenging yourself. It's like, that's not normal. Get that through your head. The bug that is going on with this boss encounter is not normal, and it absolutely impacts people who are trying to do contest mode. Like, I did it. I'll just make it clear. Like, I did it, but it would have been easier if the game functioned the way it's supposed to. It's also like saying best versus host. Well, I did solo flawless. Well, that's great. You also didn't have a soft locked or a game breaking bug, which has killed other people's runs. And it's not fair to them that they had to encounter and deal with that. I don't know. I know I'm like barking up a storm into the wind. I'm watching the turd roll down the road because people want to ignore it. But like, things should just function when they come out. That's why you have playtesters. Hell, I see that we literally see footage of people playing the fucking game. How hard is it for them to do their fucking job? If you're going to record gameplay footage or like cinematics where people are running through, then at least play the game, the dungeon or the content that you're releasing all the way from beginning to end. It's not that hard to figure out.
This game. My highest viewed video ever is me testing a seasonal artifact mod. I used to love jumping in day one of a new season to test out the mods and see how they all worked. And by and large, when I made my video explaining how they worked, That is how they worked, and they worked as the description said. Now you can't trust a single fucking thing these artifact mods say.
It's true. Even this episode, I'm trying to remember, Mark, one of the mods isn't even fucking working.
It says it is supposed to work one way and then it doesn't, and you don't know if you are the problem or the game is, and this is a huge issue.
Today
we're not going to really care about what's going on. I'm going to be giving you a cutscene.
Another issue on the Zoetic Lockset boss is that weapon surge mods don't seem to be working, and I believe this is true. On my contest clear, I had Sleeper Simulant and Sanguine Alchemy, and I wasn't missing any shots, and I was somehow being outdamaged by my teammates on the wipe screen. Despite
That's
getting
true.
a supposed 25% weapon surge from the exotic, plus the extra 10% from marking the target. So something was clearly broken. I then recently ran a master dungeon with Zoetic and Time Lord, and they both said that in the testing they had done, that surges don't seem to be working. And again, I have a huge issue with this. I spent the better part of 5 days working on a solo flawless guide, consuming info from around the community, and doing a ton of my own testing. And I want that guide to be relevant both now and in the future. But how many asterisks do I have to put in the fucking guide? Oh, in the future, Whisper of the Worm will be great here, but right now it isn't because of a crit bug.
You might want to use this build, but we don't know if it's going to function. It might work. We don't know. Also, we don't know if we'll ever have the Shrieker boss not actually, be able to do crit damage. We don't know.
Oh, by the way, we have no idea when that'll be fixed.
No idea.
Is awesome right now because it does high non-crit damage, where Queenbreaker is strong as hell these days, but it's bad for this boss thanks to the bug.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, you want to use Celestial Goldie? Well, sorry, you won't get crit damage.
No.
Guess you better use Anarchy Mountaintop or suffer until this bug is fixed. Oh, and by the way, I recommend a surge switch for all my damage rotations, but surges are broken, so don't worry about that right now.
Yeah,
but in the future, this is good advice. Trust me, bro. Oh, and in my own test.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, even what people are doing here just to maximize damage is insane. Like, this was not intended, but people are trying to maximize because the fact that this boss is just normal ass damage. People are trying their damnedest to try to get as much damage as possible, and they're doing the crazy shit.
Testing Weaken with Facet of Dominance works on the Shrieker, but Withering Gaze on my fusion rifle doesn't for some reason. Maybe particle deconstruction is a problem. Oh, and speaking of particle deconstruction, it is unintentionally working with Weaken, and it will override Tether or Tractor Cannon to actually...
Hey guys, what do you want to bet Bungie fixes first? Shrieker boss or stacking weakness with particle? One that benefits the player, one that hinders the player? Put your votes down below. What do you think Bungie's going to fix first? Find out next Tuesday in Dragon Ball Z's Nuts.
To give you less damage. So for now, Divinity and Queenbreaker is a meta strat for the final boss. But whenever Bungie fixes this, then just use 3 Queenbreakers and don't worry about doing any other form of weaken, because particle deconstruction is essentially the only source of weaken you need since they don't stack anymore. Oh, and also on Zoetic Lockset, Unravel and Scorch and Ignitions do not work. And I think Bolt and Unravel don't either, but it's hard to tell. Also, the poison from Necrotic Grip doesn't work. Again, this is very frustrating.
Add to the list of broken things.
Things just apply to all enemies. It makes theory crafting damn near impossible because now you have to test every single thing individually, which takes a ton.
And that's a huge thing. Like, half the shit that isn't working, things are bugged. Like, you got to think about the day-to-day players. Why is it that you should be able to play the game and things function? You shouldn't have to go to YouTube, Twitter to figure out, like, okay, well, this is my current build. How many fucking builds do I need for certain things in order to be able to play it correctly? Because half of it isn't working the way it's supposed to. Like, it shouldn't be like that. Like, I don't know any other MMO that has this, like, real MMO, should I say, that has this issue with, like, builds. It is laughable that Destiny even has the audacity to put any form of MMO in its shitty game title. It should not be there.
Ton of time. But at the same time, it feels very not worth it because you never know if this shit is untended or an unfortunate bug that may or may not be fixed. And then we have the Nether this episode, where Bungie nerfed the shit out of healing builds. And that would be fine if things were consistent, but again, they're not.
It's not
all
balanced.
Verbs like Restoration seem to not work, but things like Unrelenting, Crimson, and Rat King do work. And
well, so this is post. I'm assuming this is a video pre the nerf. I've played on expert and the normal. It's still fucking unbalanced. It feels better. The healing feels better, but it's still unfucking balanced. Like, there are things that hit you for so damn much. And the reason why, if you want to know why, they want you to build into the boon system, and there's boons that give you like increased healing or it gives you more health. They want you to build into that in order to kind of mitigate. So if you're not building into the boons, you're not hyper focused on chasing these boons, or if you're not lucky enough to get these boons, you're gonna have a shittier experience. This entire activity is surrounded by you gotta chase boons. It's boons the activity.
And I haven't tested it because I just don't give a single fuck anymore, but I would bet Crested Alpha Loopy and Wormhusk Crown work in there too. It's just a hunch. But like I said, I truly don't care to go in and test every.
It looks like they fixed this 10 days into the season. Sorry, episode, but why does this just now work at launch?
Potential solution anymore. I'm just over it. Bungie has completely lost my trust at this point, and I reckon I'm not alone. It's just a fucking shame that a game with such great gameplay and massive potential is ruined by them not caring about the two most important things: the quality of the game and the consumers. You show that you care about.
That's because it's about velocity. I say this every time. Bungie has come out and said they're focused on velocity over quality. And this is what you get.
Your consumers by providing them with a quality game. And the quality of the state of this game has been on a drastic downturn since Final Shape. And
yes,
coincidentally, that just happens to line up with them laying off a ton of QA stuff.
Yep. Isn't that funny?
The Nether has no healing. Well, somehow that future even bled out into Revenant seasonal activities.
Ooh.
Like I said, you can't take a damn thing at face value in this game anymore, and it's driving away dedicated players like me who used to love to test and tinker. All I can say,
it's taking dedicated players like me who like to just play the game, and you're like, I just can't be bothered anymore.
Is good riddance, and I can't wait to move on to Monster Hunter Wilds and hope that Capcom
Holy crap! Even in my comment sections, there's like 30 people commenting about I'm moving to Monster Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds
game at launch. I spoke in another video recently about how the best way to play the game is to wait a few months after release, and Heresy is proving that theory more right than I ever could have imagined. I kept the focus on the bugs in this video, but I'm also no fan of all these time gates. Time-gated dungeon exotic catalyst, time-gated Barrow Dyad perks.
Yeah.
Let players play your fucking game.
Thank you for all the dumb Bungie twats out there. And well, I need to be time gated because I don't want people putting on Twitter because I'm spastically online and I have no life, so I can't stay off the internet. So people are going to ruin and spoil the story for me, even though the story's like 30 minutes long altogether and there's barely any shit content in here. And I don't want people posting it on Twitter and YouTube because I get upset that I can't babysit myself. So I need Bungie to hold my hand and wipe my ass. I got to have time gates because I'm an incompetent degenerate who doesn't know how to babysit myself. Like, please, Bungie, please. Sorry, I just had a little mini rant, but that's what the only people that like time gates. There is zero logical reason for time gates. Zero. It is a you issue because you can't babysit yourself. That's it. That's the only reason people like time gates, because they're incompetent and they're irresponsible and immature and incapable of actually babysitting themselves.
Anyways, rant over. Bungie, if any of you who work there see this, show your higher-ups and let them know the community doesn't appreciate your buggy messes of episodes. Thank God we are done with this terrible model. And just
thank God.
It might be time to switch up the philosophy.
There it is!
Maybe focus on quality over velocity.
Yes! I'm not the only one, asshole! This guy's the biggest asshole.
From now on. I speak for a lot of people when I say I would way rather get less frequent content drops, but know that I can actually play the game as intended, rather than walking away pissed off because the game I once loved is damn near unplayable.
There it is.
Devs, I do want to give some props. The new aspects are awesome as hell, and the sandbox changes this episode have been a breath of fresh air. It's so awesome playing with new abilities and exotics that have been collecting dust in the vault for years.
Yeah,
Things were always working as intended. Like, I love my new Geomags build, but Ionic Sentry doesn't proc any Ionic traces.
No, it doesn't.
Mind, even though it should.
Yeah.
Is this for the sake of balance or an unfortunate bug?
I think it's a bug.
Sure. All I know is it's keeping me from sharing this build until it's acknowledged or fixed, and that really sucks. And to the QA department, I know you are doing the best you can. You're just understaffed.
No. There is no QA department. It's just Jim. There's just Jim in the basement. He's just like, yeah, looks good.
Lack resources to do your job properly. But I guess that's the price you got to pay so Pete can bid on a few more cars. Anyways, that's it. Like and sub and leave your...
Fuck, dude. Everyone in the community fucking hates Pete. Everyone. That's why I keep memeing on it, because it's funny. It's not even like I really think I hate Pete. He's going to get... No, it's literally just a meme at this point, because how much majority, if not 90% of the community fucking hates Pete Parsons.
Your own comments down below. Okay.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, whatever on the video will be linked down below. Absolutely, dude. It is so nice to look at these videos and just have a breath of fresh air, knowing that I'm not the only one that feels the same way. Again, more videos like reacts like this in the future, because I can showcase that it's just not me, and it's not just my community. I'm not people, and it's funny. The first thing people go is like, your dying channel. And I think it's funny because the channel, like, I think I looked at I have a 183% increase in views. 183%. Yes. Dying channel. That's definitely what my channel is. Even though we're almost at 2,000 subscribers, we're definitely dying. Even though everyone started from the bottom and now we're here. Like, I love people that their personality is Destiny and they get offended by all the criticism, because they don't even have a logical response. They immediately go for the cutthroat, like, we're going to insult your channel. We're going to insult your not even your personality, just insult like you in general. Like, the amount of people saying I'm in my mom's basement, and I'm like, I don't know what basement you've seen that has a fucking window. Like, what basement has what has windows, you stupid dumbass? Anyways, I love those comments. They make me laugh. I never get really upset. I do roast them like a Call of Duty lobby, because, I mean, there's obviously no conversation that's ever going to be had with those people. They're not here for a logical conversation. They're brain dead. So roast them like it's a Call of Duty lobby in the comment section is usually what I do. But it does make me laugh, because when I read it, when I'm like checking my computer, I'm like, yep, my mom's basement. Even though my mom doesn't have a job, doesn't have a car, is in jail right now, and couldn't even afford her own house. And yet here I am, my house and a full-time job with a master's degree in psychology and all that jazz that I got myself. But hey, thanks, Mom, for letting me live in your basement with windows. As always, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Until next time, don't forget to game out.